If you're a tattoo artist, I can guarantee you're losing both money and clients, and it's not because of your art or your tattoos. My name is Denzel. I've been tattooing for almost a decade and own multiple tattoo studios in Central Florida. A lot of artists focused only on learning how to tattoo, but what many forget is this: you're also running a business. And like any business, there are 4 key pillars you need to understand to succeed. In this video, we'll be diving into one of the most important pillars you need to know, which is sales. Now, sales isn't about pressuring people into booking with you. It's about helping potential clients decide if you are the right artist to create something that they'll wear for the rest of their lives. So today I'm sharing the 5 essential questions you need to ask every single client before pricing their tattoo. But before we get into it, you want to make sure that you stick around to the end of the video, because the last question is the question that'll help you make more money and build a loyal clientele faster than most artists in the industry. Let's get into it. All right, the first question that you should ask is, what are you looking to get done? I know it sounds obvious, but you would be surprised how many artists skip past this too quickly or don't go deep enough. You can't give a quote or know if it's something that you can do without knowing exactly what the client has in mind. Most people have a reference on their phone or some type of idea in their head. If they don't have a reference, they usually have some type of vision for what they want, and that's where you come in. This is your chance to guide them. A lot of artists will drop the ball here by not putting in the effort to help shape the idea. Don't be that artist. Instead, start a conversation. Pull up a few designs or references online that you can show the client and maybe spark the idea. If you have Flash, show them the Flash that you've created. This is really your chance to bounce ideas off of them and co-create. That little bit of effort that you put in to help shape that idea goes a long way. It tells the client, hey, I care about getting this right with you. This is the first real interaction that you're having with them, and it sets the tone for the entire relationship moving forward. But the truth is that a lot of artists unknowingly come off as if they do not care. Even if the tattoo is a small heart outline, let's say, this tattoo is still a big deal to the client. And this is something that I try to teach all of my artists in my studios. The client has probably been thinking about getting this tattoo for quite some time. So when you show genuine interest from the start, it makes a lasting impression, and that energy will naturally flow into the next question, which is, when are you looking to get it done? This question is important because it helps you figure out how committed the client is. Some people are ready to get their tattoo today. They've got the time, the money, and they're looking for the right artist right now. This is gonna be a high intent client, which you want to be able to recognize that immediately. Others might say, I'm just looking to get a price, or I'm just shopping around. This tells you that they're planning ahead. They're not ready to book today. And all of this is important to know up front, so you can handle the conversation the right way. But here's where most artists mess up. They let the client walk out without ever getting their information. Maybe the artist will hand them a business card and hope for the best, but that's not enough. You always want to exchange contact information. Whether it's their number, their email, their Instagram, you gotta get something. This allows you to stay in contact with the client so that you can do these 3 things. First thing you wanna do is send them a thank you message for talking with them about their tattoo. You wanna also express to them how excited you are to do their tattoo, as well as you wanna send your Instagram link directly to the client so that this will increase the chances of them following you back so that they stay in your network. So instead of sitting around hoping that they contact you, you stay in control of the sale. Question 3 is gonna be, how big do you want it? The size of the tattoo affects a lot, from how long it'll take, how much it'll cost, and how you will even approach the design from a technical standpoint. Generally, the bigger the piece, the more time it's going to take to complete. And naturally, that means a higher price. But something most clients and even some tattoo artists don't realize is that smaller tattoos aren't always easier. In fact, they can be even more challenging. Smaller pieces leave you with way less room for error, as one tiny mistake in the lining or the shading can really stand out. There's no space to hide it, blend it, rework it. So you want to make sure you take all of this into consideration when determining your final quote. And that brings us to question number 4. Where do you want to get it? Placement matters a lot, as it can affect the difficulty of the tattoo. Some areas are a breeze to work on. Others, can be a bit of a challenge. For example, tattooing on a forearm is generally pretty straightforward. The skin is easy to stretch, the surface is flat, and the client is usually pretty comfortable when getting the tattoo. But tattooing the ribs, that can be a completely different story. The ribs tend to be a more painful area, so the clients will typically move or tense up a bit more. And that can make it harder for you to achieve cleaner line work or clean shading. And on top of that, you have to make sure that you're stretching the skin properly, and even the client's breathing can affect the outcome of the tattoo. So knowing where the client wants to get the tattoo is going to play a contributing factor into giving them your final quote. At this point, you should have asked about the design, when the client wants to get the tattoo, how big they want it, and the placement, and you finally give them a quote. But here's where most artists drop the ball. They give the price, the client expresses they can't afford the price, and then the artist lets the client walk out. They fail to ask the most important question, the one that can literally be the difference between making money or making zero, is do you have a budget that you're working with? Now I get it, artists tell me things like, I don't negotiate my price, I know my worth, and will sometimes feel like their price is a hard standard that can never change. And that if they do change their price or negotiate the price, that they are less than. So they're totally against working with the client on the price. But you working with the client's budget has nothing to do with your worth as an artist. You're actually putting yourself in a position of goodwill with this person and building the future business that you will have with this client. A lot of clients won't say, hey, I don't have that much money right now. Instead, they'll say something like, oh, let me think about it, or let me check my schedule and I'll get back to you. And then they'll just disappear. But when you ask them directly about their budget, you allow them to be real with you. Let's say you quoted the tattoo $200, but then the client only has $150. If you know their budget is $150, are you really going to let the tattoo just walk away for $50? Or are you able to adjust the design, change the size, take out a little bit of the details in order to make the price work? I guarantee that flexibility goes a long way. Because when you let that one client walk out and leave, you're not just losing the one client or the one tattoo. I promise you're letting hundreds, if not thousands of dollars just walk away. Why? Because people who get tattoos usually hang around other people who want tattoos. And when you go above and beyond to give somebody a great experience, they'll talk about you. They'll recommend you, tag you, and send friends your way. Not to mention that most people have multiple tattoos that they want to get done. So I urge you, don't be so hard set on the price. Work with your clients and show them that you care. At the end of the day, that kind of care will build trust. And trust is what turns walk-ins into lifelong clients. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and check out some of these other videos if you haven't seen them yet.